Now in this video we will discuss about the medicinal chemistry of corticosteroids. Now these corticosteroids are basically the steroidal hormones that are produced by the cortex part of the adrenal gland. Now we know that adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney, and these consist of two regions, adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Now these corticosteroids, they are produced by the adrenal cortex. In addition to this, this adrenal gland in total produces more than 50 hormones. Now out of these 50 hormones, the important steroidal hormones produced by the adrenal cortex are the aldosterone and the hydrocortisone. Now we have discussed in brief about the this aldosterone when we discussed about the diuretics. Okay. Another important steroid that is produced by the adrenal cortex is the hydrocortisone. Okay. Now this aldosterone, as we have discussed in the diuretic, that it is a primary mineralocorticoid. It is primarily mineralocorticoid, and it causes a significant salt retention. That is, it means that it increases the reabsorption of sodium and increases the blood volume, because as we have discussed that increase in reabsorption of sodium is accompanied by increase in reabsorption of water. So it causes increase in the blood volume. In addition to this, aldosterone, it also increases the potassium ion excretion. That is, loss of potassium ion is increased. Okay. So this is aldosterone. It causes significant salt retention. That is, it means that it increases sodium reabsorption in the kidneys, and as the sodium reabsorption increases, the amount of water that is reabsorbed is also increased, and in total it increases the blood volume. Now the second important hormone that is produced by the adrenal cortex is the hydrocortisone. Now this hydrocortisone, it is classified as a primary glucocorticoid. Okay, it is categorized as the primary glucocorticoid. Now these glucocorticoids, they are basically involved in all the major metabolic pathways of the body. For example, they influences the metabolism of carbohydrate, they influence the metabolism of protein, lipids and purine. Okay, so they are involved in various metabolic pathway, and so they are important. Okay. Also therapeutically, these glucocorticoids, they are important because they are they have an anti-inflammatory action. Okay. Now these hydrocortisone, they influence carbohydrate, protein, lipid and purine metabolism. So you can see all the major metabolic pathways within the body are influenced by these glucocorticoids, and therapeutically this anti-inflammatory action is important. Okay, this anti-inflammatory action, and they do so, they exhibit the anti-inflammatory action by inhibiting the transcription of genes that encode for these cytokinins, interferons, interleukins and TNF. Now you all know that these are the involved in the inflammation process. Okay, so hydrocortisone is a primarily glucocorticoid, and aldosterone is a primary mineralocorticoid. Now let us discuss in brief about the biosynthesis of these steroids. Now all the biosynthesis, the precursor for these is the cholesterol. Okay, now cholesterol is the precursor of this. Now this cholesterol it forms pregnenolone. Okay, pregnenolone, and then from this pregnenolone hydrocortisone is formed. Okay, now this is not a single step as I have shown over here, it consists of multiple steps and various enzymes are involved in this. If you look at the structure of this precursor molecule pregnenolone and that of hydrocortisone, you can see certain structural differences that I have highlighted within the circles. Now you can see this hydrocortisone, it has got an additional OH group, alcoholic group at this position and at this position. Okay. Likewise, it also have hydroxy group additional to that of the precursor at the 17th position attached via the alpha configuration, and then you can see that this alcoholic group that was present in the precursor pregnenolone has been oxidized to a keto group, and this double bond that was within the positions here and here, now numbering you know is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So double bond between 5 and 6, it get shifted to the double bond between the 4 and 5. So these are the structural modifications that happen, and the various enzymes are involved in this process. Okay, the enzymes are 17 alpha hydroxylase. Okay, now 17 alpha hydroxylase is the enzyme that incorporate an OH hydroxyl group at the 17th position via the alpha configuration. Now then we have 3 HSD hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, which removes this hydrogen from the OH group at 3rd position to form a keto group over here. Then we have 21 hydroxylase, again this enzyme 21 hydroxylase, it introduces a OH group at the 21st position, and we have the enzyme 11 beta hydroxylase. Now this enzyme introduces a OH group at this is the 11th position. Okay, at the 11th position via the beta configuration. So you, in this way, the precursor molecule pregnenolone is transformed into the primary glucocorticoid, that is the hydrocortisone. Now from this molecule pregnenolone, we have discussed that it also forms, it is a precursor of the female sex hormone progesterone. Okay. So this is progesterone, it is formed by the transformation of pregnenolone. Okay. Now this progesterone, it undergoes modifications to ultimately form the aldosterone, which is a primary mineralocorticoid. Okay. And in this way you can see the major difference is the, apart from these OH groups, is the introduction of this CHO group at this position. Okay. Aldosterone molecule, it has got a CHO group at the this angular methyl group has been transformed into a CHO. Okay. So this is the structure of aldosterone, and this was in brief the biosynthesis of this hydrocortisone, which is a glucocorticoid, and aldosterone, which is a mineralocorticoid. The basic precursor of both of these is the cholesterol. As we have discussed, cholesterol is a very important constituent. It is involved in the biosynthesis of many steroidal hormones, and important of those are the sex hormones and other hormones. You can see it is also a precursor of glucocorticoids. Okay. This is a sex hormone. Okay. This is a mineralocorticoid. Going further, let us discuss, as we have discussed, this hydrocortisone, which is a glucocorticoid. It is a it influences almost all the metabolic pathway, and they are therapeutically more relevant in comparison to that of mineralocorticoid. So let us discuss the metabolism of this hydrocortisone. Now this hydrocortisone molecule, this is hydrocortisone metabolism. Now this hydrocortisone metabolism is like this. This is the structure of hydrocortisone, and the arrows that I have shown here, this keto group at this position, a double bond at this position, and the keto group at the 20th position, and they are transformed and by the these keto group is reduced to 20 alpha and 20 beta hydroxy. Likewise, this double bond is reduced to yield a compound that is pregnane, because you know the basic structure is C21, that corresponds to pregnane. However, in this hydrocortisone it is preg-4-ene. Okay, now this double bond from here is removed to yield the pregnane parent compound, and also this keto group at the third position is oxidized is 2,3 alpha hydroxy. Okay, so this was the metabolism of glucocorticoid, that is hydrocortisone. Now let us discuss the SAR of this molecule hydrocortisone. Now you know the numbering system in this molecule is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is position number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21. So it is a, as we have discussed, it is a derivative of the basic structure that is we call by the name pregnane. Okay. Now SAR of this hydrocortisone molecule. In the hydrocortisone molecule, if we introduce, this is position number 9, if we introduce a fluorine group at this position, via alpha configuration, this is alpha configuration shown by a dotted line. Okay. Now if we add this 9 alpha fluoro group to the hydrocortisone molecule, it increases the mineralocorticoid activity of the drug. Okay. So hydrocortisone plus 9 alpha fluoro, it increases the mineralocorticoid activity. Likewise, if we add 12 alpha fluoro or 21 hydroxy, it moderately enhances the mineralocorticoid activity. Likewise, hydrocortisone plus delta 1-ene, it increases the anti-inflammatory activity. Now, as we have discussed in the nomenclature of steroids, that this delta 1-ene means that we have a double bond at position number 1. So if we introduce a double bond at this position between the sequential carbons 1 and 2, okay, so it is shown by the delta symbol and by the location of the first position. So it is delta 1. So if we introduce this double bond at this position, it increases the anti-inflammatory activity, and hence these derivatives they are used as, they can be used as anti-inflammatory agents. Okay. Then if we have this 11 beta hydroxy group of hydrocortisone is essential for the glucocorticoid activity. Now this OH group at the 11th position, it is essential for the activity. Likewise, if we add 16 alpha hydroxy or 16 alpha beta methyl, this is position number 16. Okay. Now if at position number 16 to the molecule of hydrocortisone we add an OH group that is attached via the alpha, and we add methyl group either in alpha or beta, it affords a glucocorticoid with little or no salt retention. Salt retention means with little mineralocorticoid activity. Then hydrocortisone plus 6 alpha CH3, 6 alpha methyl, it affords glucocorticoids with little or no salt retention. Okay. So these are the two modifications hydrocortisone molecule plus 16 alpha hydroxy or 16 alpha beta methyl and hydrocortisone molecule with 6 alpha methyl, this position number 6. If we attach 6 alpha methyl at this position, 6 alpha methyl at the third position, then the derivatives that are formed, they are almost devoid of the mineralocorticoid activity, and as we know that it is the mineralocorticoid activity is not a desirable activity when we are giving a drug for the anti-inflammatory activity. So these derivatives are important. Okay, hydrocortisone plus this 16 alpha and these 3 points, that these points are relevant for the anti-inflammatory activity. Okay, now coming to the drugs that are in the syllabus. Okay, in addition to this, hydrocortisone plus 16 alpha and 17 alpha ketal. Okay, if we in the hydrocortisone molecule, if we have 16 alpha or 17 alpha ketal group, it again it is important for the glucocorticoid activity, and the derivatives that are formed, they have little or no salt retention. Okay, so these are also important. So out of the SAR of this, this was about the SAR of hydrocortisone, and as you can see this point regarding introduction of double bond at one position, 16 alpha hydroxy and 16 alpha beta methyl groups, 6 alpha methyl and 16 alpha and 17 alpha ketal group, they are important for the anti-inflammatory activity, and these modifications, they produce the derivatives. These three modifications they produce the derivatives that are having little mineralocorticoid activity. Now coming to the molecule in the syllabus, the first molecule is hydrocortisone. Now as we have discussed, it is a primary glucocorticoid with moderate salt retention activity. Now it is used as this is a structure of hydrocortisone. Now it is used as esters and salts and administered by oral, parenteral or topical route. Okay, so it can be administered by oral route, it can be administered by parenteral route, it can be administered by the topical route. Now we can have esters and salts of this hydrocortisone by using the OH groups either at the position number 21 or at the position number 17. So we have esters which are formed by this OH group at 17 position, and we have certain esters that are used which utilize this OH group of the at the 21st position. Okay, so some esters and salts are hydrocortisone acetate, it utilizes 21 OH, hydroxy, hydrocortisone butyrate with the 17 OH, hydrocortisone cyapionate with 21 OH, hydrocortisone sodium phosphate that involves 21 OH, hydrocortisone sodium succinate, it also involves hydroxyl group at a 21 position, and then hydrocortisone valerate. So these are the various salts and esters that are used of this molecule hydrocortisone. Now another drug in the syllabus is the cortisone. Now cortisone, the structure of cortisone is like this. Now you can see the major difference between the molecule of cortisone and hydrocortisone and cortisone is the transformation of this OH group to a keto group. Okay. This is the structure of cortisone. Now this cortisone, it is used as acetate of the OH group at 21st position, and it possesses good anti-inflammatory activity and low salt retention activity. However, it is ineffective topically. Okay, so this is the difference. This hydrocortisone, it can be administered by oral, parenteral or topical route. However, this cortisone, it is not effective via the topical route. Okay. Now another drug in the syllabus is prednisolone. Now if you look at the structure of this prednisolone, it is a hydrocortisone analog with a double bond at one position. So it is basically a delta 1 category of derivative that we have discussed in the SAR, and we also know that this introduction of double bond at the position number 1, it increases the anti-inflammatory activity of the hydrocortisone. Okay. So this presence of 1-ene functionality, it increases the anti-inflammatory activity of the hydrocortisone molecule, and hence this is a more potent anti-inflammatory agent than the hydrocortisone. Now again, this prednisolone, it can be used as the ester of these OH groups. Okay. So it is used as prednisolone acetate, prednisolone sodium sulfate, prednisolone sodium succinate. Okay. So this was about the drug prednisolone. Now another drug in the syllabus is betamethasone. Now this is the structure of betamethasone. Now if you look at the structure of betamethasone, you can see from the structure that it contains delta 1-ene. It contains this methyl group at this position. Okay. This is position number 16 beta methyl group. So it is a steroid with little or non-significant mineralocorticoid activity. Again, it is used as esters and salts, like we have discussed in the previous drugs, and the salts and esters that are used are the betamethasone valerate with utilizing this 17 OH group, betamethasone acetate utilizing this 21 OH group, and betamethasone sodium phosphate again utilizing this 21 OH group. Okay. So this was about the drug betamethasone. Another drug in the syllabus is dexamethasone. Now this dexamethasone, if you look at the structure of this dexamethasone, it is similar to that of betamethasone. The only difference is the change in this methyl group. In betamethasone, it is by the beta bond, means it is below the it is above the plane of this molecule, and this is in the dexamethasone, it is by the alpha configuration, means it is below the plane of the molecule. Okay. So this was about dexamethasone. It is a 16 alpha isomer of betamethasone. Okay. And it is used as an dexamethasone acetate of utilizing this 21 OH group, or as dexamethasone sodium phosphate again utilizing this 21 OH group. Okay. So this was about the drug dexamethasone. Now the major therapeutic uses of these glucocorticoids are the rheumatic disorders. Okay, because of their anti-inflammatory activity. They are also used in renal diseases. They are used for severe allergic reactions, because you know in allergic reactions also, like asthma and other allergic reactions, these corticosteroids are used, majorly the glucocorticoids, with the SAR features that increase the anti-inflammatory activity, and they are also used in the bronchial asthma and other pulmonary conditions. So this was all about the corticosteroids in the syllabus. We have discussed, if you recap what we have discussed about the what are corticosteroids. We discussed that these are the steroidal hormones produced by the cortex part of the adrenal gland, which produces primarily two major corticosteroids. One is the aldosterone, which is useful in salt retention. Okay, it increases the salt retention, increases the blood volume, and it increases the excretion of potassium ion. And the important steroid that is produced by the cortex is the hydrocortisone, which is categorized as the glucocorticoid. And we have discussed that this glucocorticoid it influences almost all the major metabolic pathways, and it is also important in the anti-inflammatory action. Okay. Then we discussed about the biosynthesis of these corticosteroids, and we discussed that the major precursor of these corticosteroid is the cholesterol, and then we discussed about the pathway. We also discussed about the metabolism of this hydrocortisone, and then we discussed the SAR and the drugs that are given in the syllabus. Okay, so this was all about the corticosteroids.